Most of today's training concepts are based on dominance. So if we want our horse to do something, let's say that our horse needs to stand really still and is not allowed to move. And in the moment the horse makes a move, there will come a punishment for the horse. And I know that there are different ways now for punishment. There's the positive punishment, as people like to call it, or the negative punishment. But it's still punishment in most of the time, yeah. You know, and what I really want to say here, let's get back to the point, because again, it's a huge topic and I'm trying not to get lost here, but to focus on what I want to say is, when we train our horses in any way, there is this space between the horse and us as human. Let's call it the invisible space, because that's how I like to call it. And in this space, there is all the communication happening. So as a human, as a person, an equestrian person, we need to learn how to interact in that space, you know? In that space is life in general. So our horse will mirror our inner being in a way of energy, you know, and there's also the body language. The energy language and the body language go hand in hand and are both really, really important, because once we master the energetic language with our horse, we also need to master the body language, because the body language is always the proof of the energy language. So if we do something with the energy language, if we set an intention of what we're going to do with our horse in the energy language, there needs to come the right movement and the right gesture in the body language as well, to show the horse that we're competent, that we have the competence of real communication. So communication is the key word for me here, because real communication with the horse opens up so many possibilities. And I'm not talking here about some kind of training or conditioning the horse. I'm talking about communication. So when I go out with my horse into a training area or whatever, I want to communicate. I want to play and start in communication. And in that communication, in that space, there's so much that can create from itself. I mean, training in a certain way is nothing bad and that's happening just on itself, because when I communicate with my horse, there's also training happening, you know, and there's also conditioning happening, but in a different way. It's not in a way of, I want this and you need to do this right now in that kind of way, and otherwise I'm going to punish you if you don't do it. Communication means to me that there's also space for the horse to talk, you know. And if we let our horse talk, we do have a really great master that shows us where we stand right now. So if we're not capable of the really good body language with the horse, and if we never learned how to use the energy language, and I think I need to do an extra video just about energy language and maybe body language included, because it's such a complex topic and I don't know, there has to be more about that, I think. So maybe we will do that in the future too. So yeah, the horse will mirror your competence. If you're not competent enough to communicate what you want in a peaceful way, then your horse just won't do it. And most people just can't handle that. They can't handle a no from a horse. They can't handle if the horse says, well, you're not competent enough to do this. You don't have the competence to ask me to, I don't know, let's say to go back a few steps or to make a few side steps, because it needs good energy language and a really good body language to communicate that to the horse freely and peacefully. So that's basically what I do. I communicate with my horses, and we do train, but we train in a communicative kind of way. You know, I try to get more competence with every single session we do. So I will go out with my horse and I will try to show my horse my competence, and my horse will show me how much competence I have and where it ends. And then I will just keep on going. I will learn and I will try out and I will make a game out of it, because if you get into this kind of serious stuck way of, oh, I'm not good enough, that doesn't help you either. It has to be playful, because just imagine that you're with a friend that is always like, oh, we can't do this and this sucks, and always in this negative energy that doesn't feel good for you. So the horse wants positive energy, and horses are so sensitive. They basically live out of energy language and body language. That's what they do the whole day when they communicate with each other. So yeah, if you are stuck, if you have stuck energy and this negative mindset around, I don't know, what you want to reach with your horse or whatever, your horse will always have that feeling of negative energy. So it's about saying really yes to the moment in either way, if it works or if it doesn't work. And I promise you, a lot of times things don't work for me either. So my horse will say, well, there's still something to learn. But even more times my horse says yes. And that's what is the really special thing about it for me, because it changed the relationship with my horse in every single way, you know. And it changed also my life in a lot of ways, because it also has a big impact in our life and how we communicate with other people and how we just show up with ourselves, you know, how we interact. And yeah, so I hope this makes sense to you, and I will try in the future to really show you in every way I possibly can what I want to say, because I know from my clients, from a lot of people that I talked to, that this topic needs some time to settle, and also more information than what I just told you, because I know that this is probably not enough information for most people to really understand, but I will do my best in explaining it to you in the future in every way. And yeah, so make sure to like, comment, and share this video. Have a really great day. Bye.